training for my first 50K Black Canyons, February 9th, week number 6. Oh yeah, we're getting into the thick of it now. Merry Christmas Eve, y'all. Today I have just 1 hour recovery. Tomorrow the fun really starts. 2-hour runs, 3-hour run on Sunday. Oh yeah, intervals are getting longer this week. There's a lot happening, but starting off easy. Good old Tuesday recovery per usual in this amazing warm desert. A little bit windy, but zero complaints. Legs are heavy. Let's see what this week's gonna throw at me. Recovery Tuesday, done and dusted. Ended up with 6.61 miles. Merry Christmas, y'all. That is right. Another holiday during this training season. Another reason not make excuses. I will enjoy my holiday, but I am also still gonna get into work today. So today is another interval Wednesday. The intervals are getting longer and longer. Today is gonna be a 3 times 12 minutes. So for those 12 minutes, I'm gonna kind of try to do a tempo pace and then 3 times, and then the rest will be 6 minutes in between those. Warm up will be about 15 minutes, and after the intervals will be just steady running for about 51 minutes. It is a beautiful sunny day here in the desert. I'm gonna go down to this one little spot. It's kind of like a sandy road, so there won't be like a lot of elevation, but it will be challenging in the sense of the terrain, the sand. That'll make things a little bit tougher, build some strength in the legs. Hope y'all are enjoying your Christmas. I gotta go get these miles in before I can stuff my face. And I'll be running in the Nike Zegama, I don't know how you say that. I'll be running those today. That's my other new shoe. Those are kind of an in-between shoe of my Norda 001s and the Trabaco Max from EP.6. They have good cushion like the Trabaco Max, but then they're also light and speedy like the 001s. I just got these, so I'm using them for just kind of mellow trail, nothing too aggressive, some of the flatter stuff where I want to pick up a little bit of speed. All right, warm up is done. Rolling into this first 12-minute effort. Like I said, 3 by 12 minutes today, shooting for tempo pace, which is gonna be pretty hard because this ground is sandy, super soft. But yeah, see what we can do. One down, 2 more to go. That actually went a lot better than I expected. I forgot to mention, not only is this like sandy and like really sandy in some pockets, it's also a gradual uphill from where I started. So you tack that on, man, it's a good strength builder for sure. And the thing is like, you gotta adjust your paces accordingly. What would be tempo on the road definitely would not be tempo in this. I think I was somewhere between low 8s, maybe 8:15. Have the Course Pace Pro set to certain paces, so that way when I hit grades, it knows I'm on a grade. Okay, we're gonna adjust the pace down to what would be similar on the road, but for this trail. Happy with that. 2 more, see how those go. Set number 2, let's go, 12 minutes. Nice thing is the 6-minute recovery, I just turned around and got some free miles, basically just casually jogging downhill. So kind of digging this place. This is working out super good. See how this one goes though. forgot to mention, when I'm saying the paces that I'm running, probably a minute slower because the watch is calculating for the grade. What I'm running on the grade would be equal to what I'm running on a flat road surface. Like right now, it says I'm running 8:19, but it's actually really a 9:27. It's just adjusting for the effort you're putting out on a percentage of an incline. I don't think that makes any sense to you guys because I'm terrible at explaining things, but yeah. Views. How about them views? All right, round number 2 is done. One more and done with this for today. Well, one more and then a 50-minute run, but feeling good. That one got a little bit harder, so it's all good though. Beautiful Christmas day in the desert. Man, this weather is so good right now. Number 3, last one for the day. Legs are definitely feeling heavy. That sand will get you. Intervals, check. Warm up, intervals done. I have about 50 more minutes of running just to round out 2 hours. Switched it up a little bit on that one. I did a turnaround, so that one was all downhill, which I think is equally as important because that helps pick up the pace, run at a faster pace, but also it's good for building the quads, running downhill, holding that form. So I had 2 uphill and a 1 downhill for those 12-minute efforts, and I think that kind of rounds it all out perfectly. But all in all, I'm very happy how those went. Legs are on a little bit tired side because riding the bike again, the fatigue from that 17-miler on Sunday, but all in all, those went really well. Time for a little lunch. Struggle bus is real. I cut the run short by about 8 minutes. I just had nothing left in the tank and the paces just kept getting slower. I'm also doing like double this week because I am running, but I'm also cycling. It's the Festa 500, so I'm also trying to do that on top of running. So I'm going to have extra fatigue and everything else, but I'm also going to have extra fitness. So that's kind of like my excuse of okay to cut a workout short, is that I am still going to ride the bike and I'm still going to get something out of that. Not like I was missing out on anything from the run. It was just more endurance after those intervals, but still cut it short. I was just tapped, had nothing left, and probably a lot of that could be due to running so much in the sand. That stuff is freaking draining. Ended up with 12.21 miles, hour and 52 minutes. Like I said, cut that short. Average pace was a 9:10. So I'm really happy how the intervals went. Those went really well. I just was gassed on the back end, unfortunately. All the splits were relatively close in the miles, so that's really cool. Stoked on that. Cut it short, you know. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday. You know what that means. Back-to-back long runs this weekend, the hard stuff. And, of course, trying to wear the dogs out this morning. I've kind of dropped the ball this week on 50K training. Now, before you say anything and get mad at me and drop it in the comments, but for good reasons. So every year, Rafa, the cycling clothing brand, does the Festive 500, which is essentially 7 days of cycling to see if you can get 500 Ks. I love running, but I also love cycling. I wanted to try and do it because I've never been able to, just because of weather and everything else. It just never lines up. While on top of training for 50K, I've been doing the Rafa 500, or trying. And as if that wasn't enough, I am also like daily vlogging those rides. Yeah. So needless to say, that has been part of the reason why I kind of dropped the ball on 50K training this week. I'm still training, I'm still running, but I have cut some workouts short. So for example, yesterday, Friday, was supposed to be a recovery run. I ended up doing a 2-hour bike ride and just cut the recovery run. Thursday was supposed to be 2 hours. I ran 1 hour, but that same day I also cycled for 3 hours. Wednesday, which you saw, I just hit the wall. There's no excuse about that one. I think all the sand and those intervals just completely wiped me. Completely wiped me. So mileage is a lot less this week. I'm not getting as much time on feet as I should be, but at the same time, while I do feel like I've kind of dropped the ball, there is an added fitness bonus. Let's be honest here. It's like, okay, if I was supposed to do a 2-hour run, but I got an hour run and a 3-hour bike, that 3-hour bike is basically a bonus even if I take the hour away. Let's just say it's a 2-hour bonus if I take that hour away from running, because if I was just running, it would have only been 2 hours, but I'm adding an extra endurance on top of it. So with that said, kind of dropped the ball this week. The Rafa 500 ends on Tuesday, so once that's done, it's full tilt back into 50K training. Oh yeah? But you know, like I've said at the beginning of the series, I make cycling and running content, and while yes, I'm not a triathlete anymore, I still have to make cycling content. I still need to ride the bike, and I still need to train for this 50K. It's just trying to find that balance. The balance kind of got off whack this week, and I'm okay with that because there is still fitness coming in. It's just not, it's not completely just from running. Anyways, long rant over. It is Saturday. I am prioritizing the runs this weekend over the cycling, but the cycling needs to come afterwards. Otherwise, I'm going to completely fail this cycling challenge if I don't get some more rides in. Today's Saturday, which means long run day with some speed workout. It's going to be a little bit different. So the workout today is 2 hours per usual, and then 2 by 15 minutes. And at those 15 minutes, which will be race pace on the dirt, so I'll do a little bit faster because I'm going to do it on the road to try and pick up some miles, because the miles are definitely going to be lower this week. And then tomorrow is going to be 3 hours of running, endurance pace, but I want to do that on trail. So that's kind of also why I'm doing road today, to pick up miles and to do the speed work. And then tomorrow I'll do the 3 hours on trail and just get some elevation gain and things like that. But that workout on Wednesday was really good, really hard. I know there's a boost of fitness coming from that. So it's just rolling with everything that I have to do, for this channel, and to keep making content, and to keep training, and to get bike miles in, to get runs in, things like that. And if you are watching this running series and the cycling series that I'm dropping, those daily vlogs, yeah, I appreciate that. It's a lot. It really is a lot, like training for a 50K and then trying to do a cycling challenge, and then like daily vlogging it and trying to put out a video the same day that you did that cycling challenge. Anyways, I gotta throw this frisbee 100 more times for the dogs, get out on the run, go do the bike, edit, rinse and repeat tomorrow. And then I'm looking forward to getting back into just after Tuesday, because next week is definitely going to be a big, long, hard week of 50K training. Let's get it. Just about to wrap up this 20-minute warm-up, a little bit over 2 miles. Gonna roll into 2 by 15 minutes. I don't remember what the recovery was. I think it's 6 minutes, but the 2 15-minute efforts will be 8:30s to low 8s, 750s, high 750s. If I'm feeling it, not too terribly hard, just kind of a workout to hold me in a little bit higher pace for longer, just building that muscle strength at higher speeds. Shouldn't be too taxing beyond on the road. Ideally, if I was training for a half or a road marathon, it'd probably be quicker than what I'm going for, but that's relatively like tempo, maybe a little bit quicker if I was on trail. So that's the idea, at least behind it. Should end up with maybe 13 to 15 miles today. Let's get it. Okay, round number 1 done. Looks like I had it at a 7:57 pace average. If I can do that again on the second one, I'll be super happy. I think I have the paces set perfectly. I know I'm not going to run this on trail, but on the road it's definitely comfortably hard. Like, yeah, I can run faster and hold it, but I think that's just kind of right in the sweet spot that I wanted for this workout. The recovery is 5 minutes. I'm going to do that at like an 8:28, so not a lot slower, but kind of puts me in that endurance zone. It's not like I'm really backing off too much and still holding a decent pace, which just kind of adds a little extra bit to this workout. On the tired side, between doing the bike thing and the run thing and then the editing for the bike thing, it's just a lot. Recover, do it again. Intervals, check, done and dusted. That one was quite a bit hotter, which is fine. I think that ended up being 7:55 pace. 60 more minutes of just steady running. Those are always the fun ones after the intervals. It's just the steady running. Sometimes it feels good, and then other times it just feels like pulling teeth. It's like you just want to be done. It's dragging out. Mentally challenging sometimes, because when you're focused on the intervals, they just go so much quicker, and then the steady running after the intervals, yeah, it doesn't. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna shoot for hopefully 8:30s, 8:40s pace for the last hour. That would be ideal. Like I said, just trying to grab a few more miles today, just because the whole bike juggle thing happening this week and cutting a few of these workouts short. I'd still be happy if I hit at least 50 miles this week. That'd be nice. It might be closer to 40, I don't know. But if I can hit 50, I think ideally this week should have been closer to 70. There's still time. There's still time. Not a lot of time, but there's still time to make progress and get all the things taken away that need to be taken away. I'm not stressing about it yet. When the time comes, you'll see me stressing about if I feel like I slacked in one area or another. Enough rambling. Nobody wants to hear this. Views. Two-hour run, done. Saturday, check. If you're wondering why I was not wearing the vest today, the last run that I wore it, doing those intervals, what was that, Wednesday? Right here on my ribs, where like the water bottle sits, mostly on the left side, my ribs are like super sore. And I checked the vest and checked to make sure there was like nothing like poking in or sitting weird on my ribs, and there was nothing. So for whatever reason, the vest is like causing some weird issues with my ribs, and I don't know what it is. So that's why I did not wear the vest today. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow, because tomorrow's supposed to be a 3-hour run. I'm going to do it out in the trails, and it's like, well, if I can't wear that vest, how am I supposed to carry water, you know? I'm gonna eat a bagel real quick. That's why I didn't have that on. solid run today. Super happy how that went. Felt like I definitely could have ran longer, which is a good thing. I kind of wanted to run longer, but then it's like at the same time I'm still trying to get on the bike today and do a big bike ride so I can make a video about that, the Rafa whole thing and whatnot. So ended up with 15 miles, 2 hours and 4 minutes. My efficiency was 100% per Coros. My average pace was an 8:17. Very happy about that. 243 feet of elevation gain, not a lot being on the road, which is alright. Stoked to get 15 miles in. The 2 hour run seems to be getting a little bit easier and easier, so that's all good things. Average heart rate was 142, which is the lower side of zone 2. Solid. Cadence is a little bit low. I think it's those shoes, the Super Blast. For whatever reason, my cadence seems to be low in those compared to like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 2s and some other shoes I have. So average cadence was 177, total was 1502. Saturday, done. See you tomorrow for Sunday. Let's go run some dirt, get some views. Sunday fun day, y'all. End of the week. We're gonna do it. Another 50K training week is about to be done. But first, can we just take a moment and be super appreciative and admire how beautiful this day is right now? Not a cloud in sight. Beautiful blue skies. Just absolutely stunning morning. Wow. Those are the good vibes. Sunday fun day. Long run day. That's right. 3 hours on deck. I am definitely feeling a little rough today. 15-mile run went well yesterday with the 2 hours. Afterwards, I went and rode the bike for 3 hours. Got 50-something miles in, and then spent all night editing that video from that day and uploading it. So needless to say, after those 5 hours of training, I am just a little bit tired today. The workout or plan is just to enjoy the day. I've done a lot of just running everything and not really like treating it how I would in a race. Like some things, some hills and whatnot, you would actually speed hike or hike up. So I'm kind of using that today. So I'm not necessarily worrying about a pace. I'm not worried about a distance. I have 3 hours. That's the only really main thing. But the other thing is just kind of, you know, hike the sections I want to hike, speed hike the sections I want to hike, work on that kind of form. I think it's good to, you know, work on that form because there is a certain way to actually speed hike and hike up things that is beneficial to your legs and to speed and power and everything. So yeah, I'm just really want to enjoy the day and just kind of work on the form on the downhills, work on the form on speed hiking, hiking up, and not just make it solely about, oh, you have to run this whole thing. No. So it's a gorgeous morning. The vibes are high. The first bit of the run started out a little bit rough. The body was like, oh boy, what are we doing here? But I'm feeling good now, and yeah, just ready to tackle the day. I am so far 2.5 miles in and 800 feet of vert. So with that said, let's go get this. It is definitely on the toasty side, so that's okay. Nothing wrong with sweating it out. Gonna go back up in those mountains again today. Let's do this. Hour 13 minutes in. I've got a whopping 5 miles, a little over 2,000 feet of elevation gain. It is warm today. My hat is like completely soaked. My t-shirt, I don't know if you could tell, the back of it is completely soaked. Like, yeah, it's definitely toasty, and then just basically been going vertical since I left. Let's talk about hydration vests for a second, because I know that's probably going to come up. My ribs are still sore, so I decided to go for the 2-liter bladder in the back, which is actually not bad running with. The problem is, if I race with that, it's a pain in the ass to get it filled up, because I have to take the bag off, open it up, and then it takes a lot of water. Whereas the bottles are a lot easier to pull out right before an aid station get filled up. I'm gonna let my ribs kind of get to the point where they don't feel like they're sore anymore, and then try the front bottles again. I really don't know what that's about. I've never had any issues with the vest until I just started wearing it again. So worst case scenario, I do that with 2 liters and a handheld, and use my handheld as my liquid carbs and get that filled every time, and just use that as electrolytes and slowly sip on that. Or I just get one of those naked belts that go around your waist that are super lightweight, and carry a handheld and carry a bottle in that. And that might be the best option, but I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Or you have one of those naked belts or anything, let me know, because the struggle is real. Views! So pretty today. God. So much cactus. Cactus everywhere. Well, I've said it many times. Yes, I'm a very slow runner, but the terrain out here is pretty technical in some spots. It's not fast moving. Even going down, it's relatively slow. If you're looking at my Strava after this and you're like, damn, that guy's really slow. Yes, I know, but B, the terrain. Excuses. Just admit it. Old and slow. Time to turn around. 6.5 miles in, 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 3,005 feet climbed. That's basically everything I would get in the race is at 3,000, maybe a little bit less in 6.5 miles. You imagine 3,000 feet of elevation gain spread out over 31 miles. That's technically a flat course, really. It's gonna be fast. I'm not that fast, though. Good to put that into perspective, huh? Time for a little snack and send it down. Freaking gorgeous is that. Oh my God. Wow. Made it back to the desert floor. Wow, what a descent that was. That was so long. Absolutely epic descent though. Good quad pounder. That will make weak legs for the end of the day, but strong legs going forward. That is definitely some serious muscle beating. 45 minutes left. Sunday fun day. Week 6, almost done and dusted. Yeah, we were up there. And just like that, week 6, training for my first 50K, Black Canyons, February 9th is done and dusted. What a week. Between trying to do a cycling challenge on top of training for a 50K, that was a lot. A few workouts were cut short, recovery run was skipped, but let me tell you, if I don't get a boost of fitness from this week, then that's on me. So mixing in the cycling and the running this week put me at 21 hours of training. Yeah, that's a big boost. But I am pretty pumped on how the workouts went. And again, it's more so the key workouts. Wednesday's workout went really well. The speed session in the sandbox, I was able to hit those intervals spot on where I wanted it, the paces I wanted. That was a good dig. Yes, I was completely burnt from that workout and had to cut it short. I'm okay with that. My Saturday workout, speed session, long run I did on the road, that went really well. Hit the 15 miles, no issues there. My Sunday workout, which was 3 hours of just going out and running, went extremely well. I definitely felt like I could keep going, so that's a super positive on that note. That run ended up being 12.3 miles with 3,540 feet of elevation gain, so I'm really pleased with that. Like I said in the video, yeah, it wasn't all about running. It was like I'm just gonna hike. I was gonna do, more of what you would do in a race. Like, unless it's a truly flat race, there is some sections you'll have to hike. Really pleased to hit that elevation on that. Alright, I know this video is super long again. I just like making long videos and I can't help it. Let's wrap this up. This week I did hit 55 miles with 4,780 feet of elevation gain, and that put me at 9 hours and 10 minutes of training. While yes, that's a little bit lower than probably where I should have been if I didn't cut workouts short and skipped a workout, I think that is still really solid. I am happy with that. I am happy that, I am staying consistent at least in that 50-mile range for the week. And apologies for this video being behind. I've been daily vlogging the cycling stuff, so when I got to editing this video, it's a lot to put together, and I started it last night, edited till almost 11 o'clock, and then now back on it Monday. Getting closer and closer to this race. Yeah, week 6 done. How am I feeling? Am I feeling like, I'm ready to do this? I feel like I'm making progress. Like, I feel like each week there is a noticeable something. Some weeks are just a struggle bus and I have to dig deep and find what that is, that I feel like I'm getting towards something. I think I always feel this way. I always feel like I'm never ready. So I'm just kind of in that weird spot right now where it's like, yeah, I know I can go out there and run for 2 to 3 hours. And I know physically I can run at least 20 miles right now. But that 20 to 31 is a huge gap. So I'm not 100% like, yeah, I'm there. I'm ready to do this. Let's go do this. Which is okay. There's still more weeks to train. There's still more training coming. So I just have to keep that in mind. Just keep digging deep. I'm really excited that I did do the cycling challenge just for the fitness boost. Like, an added 10 hours on top of what I was already training for is huge. And then today I'm going to go out and ride probably 5 or 6 hours and a couple more hours tomorrow, and then just roll back into 50K training. So rolling back into a 10 to 12 hour week of just running after a 20-hour week should be relatively easy, and I should see a big peak of fitness at some point. It is almost New Year's and time to roll into week 7. I appreciate everybody watching this series. I appreciate you all hitting the like button, leaving comments. Thank you for being along on this journey. Thank you for not giving me too much crap for this being insanely long every week. With that said, I will see you guys next week for week number 7. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll do it again.